You just heard it. Joining us now is Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. He sits on the Senate Appropriations and Armed Services Committees. Senator, great to have you. So President Trump just posted on Truth Social, quote, "No more money, hundreds of billions of dollars to the Democrat-supported insurance companies for really bad Obamacare. The money must now go directly to the people." So, Senator, are Republicans a hard no on extending those subsidies?
Absolutely a hard no on sending the insurance companies these subsidies, without question. 100% on what the president says there. I think that's awesome. I think he's spot on. He hollered at Lindsey Graham and myself and said, "I think the American people will love this." After that True Social post, it became very evident that people agreed. Instead of giving the insurance companies this money, give it to the individuals and allow them to choose health care that actually fits their need and works for them. And here's the truth about the so-called affordable health care, which isn't affordable. Remember, President Obama said it was going to go down by 25%, meaning premiums are going to go down by 25%. As you and I sit and talk right now, it's went up 221%. So what we're doing isn't working. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And that's what the Democrats are at. They're completely insane when they think they know how to fix health care, because it hasn't worked for 10 years, 12 years, and 13 years. It's not going to work next year either.
Senator Mullin, it's Nicole Sapphire, and while you know, with the president posting all about health care right now, I'm very fired up about it, but I do want to just switch gears just a little bit, because nearly every Senate Democrat voted against a bill yesterday to pay military personnel and federal employees who are reporting to work, falling 7 votes short of passing. So, Senator, why are the Democrats refusing to at least pay federal employees as we are heading into the holiday season? We know that a lot of these people depend on these paychecks to get food on the table and presents under the Christmas tree coming up.
Well, Nicole, you know that the Democrats have been open that they're using the American people for hostage. Well, as leverage, but I consider it as hostage, for the same reason that they think they're winning this politically. I mean, it was Chuck Schumer that goes out and says that every day is getting better for them. This isn't about a policy issue for them. This is about politics. Republicans are trying to fix the policies, trying to get the country moving forward because of President Trump's strong economy and the agenda he's laid forward a year ago when he won the election. What the Democrats are all worried about, they're worried about the midterm elections, and they're worried about the 2028 election. And so this has nothing to do with what they want to get done policy-wise. It has to do with what they think politically is best for their party.
And keep in mind, they've done this a couple times. Both of the longest shutdowns happening under President Trump's time in office. The Democrats keep repeating this process. Kevin Corke, speaking with you, of course, as always. Senator, great to have you on the program.
Thanks,
as you know, the president is calling on Republicans to basically use the nuclear option to end this shutdown. Listen here.
The way to do it for the Republicans is to terminate the filibuster. They call it the nuclear option. This is the second form of nuclear. Very good, very good. This is a good form. This is not a bad form. I would have been in favor of that a long time ago.
Here's the real rub. There's a lot of sentiment, both on Capitol Hill and elsewhere, Senator, that when the Democrats get back in power, eventually that could happen. They will absolutely end the filibuster the second they get the chance. Isn't it high time the Republicans did that now to advance their agenda, especially between now and the midterm? Where do you stand on that?
Well, the truth is, the votes just aren't there right now. We hate the filibuster when we're in power. We liked it when we weren't in power. Keep in mind, when Joe Biden was in office, it protected them from jamming the courts. It protected them from federalizing elections, and it protected us from them making D.C. a statehood. So it goes back and forth, but we've never seen anything like this. Chuck Schumer is destroying the Senate, and where the Senate was where it's supposed to be a thoughtful body, where we move a little slower, put a little more thought into what we're doing, where the House kind of moves in rapid fire. What's happened now is, since he's pushed it so far, this conversation truly has to happen. The president's not wrong. We need to be having this conversation, but the votes aren't there right now.
Senator, I want to ask this question because I've heard no one say it. The fight in the Senate right now is this idea, hey, we're not going to have the conversation about Obamacare subsidies until you vote to open the government back up. And that's kind of the hard line. The negotiation from Schumer has gone all the way from, fund that to eternity, to repeal some of the big, beautiful bill, all the way down to now he's saying, well, if you'll just fund these subsidies for a year, maybe we'll vote. Other than getting your Cherokee Nation sister Elizabeth Warren to vote, I don't know that you're going to find 5 senators to vote just yet. But here's the question, because Democrats have been effective at making health care a part of this conversation. Whether you think it should have been in the beginning or not, I think you can agree that that's at least become a part of what people at home are talking about. What is the answer? You go through, you get this CR or a new version of a CR through, health care is not involved, you get the government back open, and then everyone's subsidies are still expensive or more expensive, or everyone's health care is more expensive without subsidies. How do you stop that from being blamed right back on Republicans going into the midterms?
Well, first of all, let me address this Elizabeth Warren sister thing. If she was my sister, I would have took my wife's last name because I would have divorced my family. Going to back, how do we get back on track? The truth is, this isn't really about health care at all. As I said, this has to do with politics for them. When we had a deal last week to have, and 13 Democrats had agreed to it, that we was going to do the 3 appropriation bills, we were going to put the clean CR on the rest of it, we was going to give them a date certain on the vote, but we couldn't guarantee it. After the Tuesday's election, they came back to us and they said, well, we want to guarantee the House is going to vote on it. We can't guarantee what another chamber is going to do. They wanted President Trump to reinstall all the federal employees that was riffed. That's absolutely ridiculous. They wanted President Trump to reinstate the security clearances for like Jamie Como and all these other individuals. There's no way that's going to take place. When you start talking about what they're demanding from President Trump to do, it can't happen. And so what we are saying is let's put the bill that we agreed on the floor and then let President Trump, the guy who knows how to run a business, he knows how to be successful in the private sector, and let him help work on the health care instead of having a community organizer that said our premiums are going to go down 25%. Now they're up 221%. Obviously, he didn't know what he's doing, but we can trust that President Trump actually knows business and knows what's right to move forward to have a discussion that we can actually get health care working for the American people.
Senator, I have another question for you that's very close to my heart as a South Dakotan. All right, President Trump is calling on the DOJ to start investigating meat packers over high prices and accusations of collusion, price fixing, and price manipulation. This is something that's very important to me. I saw you tweeted about it this morning. I know it's also important to you, being that you're from where you're from. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? And are American ranchers finally going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief and get the money they should be getting for their superior product?
Well, obviously, I've been raised on a ranch my whole life. I raised my kids on a ranch. We have a cow-calf operation, and for the last 3 weeks, the cattle market has been very volatile. In fact, 500-pound steers have dropped $1 a pound, which is $500 a head. And at the same time, boxed beef has went up $3. The president's #1 goal is to bring down prices. But when you see the gap between what the feeder cattle is, which is what we sell on the hoof, to what it's going to retail, there's such a huge gap that's taken place over the 20 years that's happened since the meat packing industry has consolidated. There are 2 major meat packers, is JBS, and they're a Brazilian-owned company. The other one's a Brazilian-owned company. Something's happened. Now remember, in 2019, these individuals had to pay a significant amount of money because of a penalty because of what they were doing by shorting the market. What the president has done here is he said, hey, we're not going to be looking at the cow-calf operator. We're going to be looking at what's taking place. Why is it cheap? Why is the beef so cheap compared to what the retail price is? And at the beginning of it, what the president's entire goal is to lower the price on our consumers' table. And that's what we want to do too, but it's the packers that needs to be looked at.
Absolutely. We've been crying this for so long. American ranchers have. We also need mandatory country of origin labeling. Senator Markwayne Mullin, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course.